Maybelline has just launched the Lifter Foundation and Concealer, and I have some serious questions. It's supposed to be 90% skincare with niacinamide and hyaluronic acid that would plump and brighten your skin over time. But I think I really want to know whether this new foundation is better than my go-to Dewy and Smooth foundation. I want to know if this is really going to outperform it, or is it just marketing hype? So today I'm doing a full comparison. I'll be doing the Lifter Foundation on one side of my face and the Dewy Foundation on the other. But I'm going to be using this new Lifter concealer on both sides of my face. I'll be wearing this for 8 hours under real conditions, and I'll be giving you my honest opinion as always. So let's get into it. Let me break down what we are testing today. This is the Maybelline Lifter Plump and Glow Foundation. It is 90% skincare and it has 2% niacinamide with hyaluronic acid. This claims to plump and brighten up the skin. It should be a buildable and radiant coverage. This bottle is 30 ml and I bought it for $20, and as of now they're available in 18 shades. But I got shade 220 to test it out. The Lifter Concealer on the other hand is supposed to be full coverage, but it's still skin-like. It's got 2% peptides in it and also caffeine, so that could brighten up the under eyes over time. This is a 11 ml bottle and it cost me $14.99, and I've just blindly bought shade number 60. And as you know, this is my go-to dewy foundation from Maybelline. This has some SPF in it. It is a 30 ml bottle and I'll be using shade 230 Natural Buff as always. Before I start, here's my bare skin. My skin type is normal to dry, normal during summer and sort of dry during winter. And today my main concerns are dark circles, hyperpigmentation, and slight texture on the skin. I'm keeping my skin prep exactly the same on both sides, so we're testing the foundations fairly. You know my routine by now. It's just my clear skincare toner, the Dalba serum spray, the Medicube pink PDRN serum, and just my moisturizer. So I'm not going to be using any special tricks. This is just real world application. And as always, I'm using my Maybelline Grippy Serum Primer to apply it on the skin. Before I apply concealer, I'm using the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Corrector in Peach. This is a crucial step for dark circles on brown skin especially. If you skip color corrector, your concealer will look grey or ashy. Peach neutralizes the blue and purple tones underneath my eyes. I'm dotting it only on the darkest areas, not everywhere. Make sure you're neutralizing the discoloration and not just adding another heavy layer. Once this is blended out, my concealer will sit on a neutral base instead of trying to cover dark circles on its own. Now let's get into concealer. I'm starting with the Lifter Plump and Glow Concealer on both sides, and I'm going to be applying this underneath my eyes and on any spots. The texture feels incredibly creamy. It feels slightly thick, but it's still lightweight. So maybe it's the skincare that's coming through. Now I'm going to be blending it in. You can see that it is blending in easily and smoothly. And like I mentioned before, even though it is creamy and thick, it's really blending easily. I'm not sure how they've done this. Coverage is definitely full. I can see my dark circles being covered pretty much immediately. It does look brightening right away, but is that the peptides or just the lighter shade doing its job? We'll see how it actually holds up. This shade has turned out to be slightly lighter on me, but that's because I'm in summer, so I'm tanning quite a bit. The finish is very skin-like. It's not cakey, which is promising, but we will have to see if it creases by the end of the day. Now it's time to test the foundations. Starting with the left side, Maybelline Lifter Plump and Glow Foundation in the shade 220. I'm applying this with a brush. This is the Pro 47 brush, which I've linked in the description box. The consistency is very lightweight. It feels a lot like skincare. It looks thick, but it still feels very thin. It spreads out really easily and smoothly on the skin. It takes little to no effort. Right away, I can see this is definitely radiant. That's a healthy glow to the skin. Coverage-wise, this is medium buildable. It's not full coverage, but it evens out my skin tone perfectly. I'm also going to be applying a second layer on areas where I need more coverage. So around my nose a bit and on any hyperpigmentation. Let's have a closer look and see if it's actually plumping. Honestly, My skin does look luminous and bouncy, but I think that's the radiant finish, not necessarily plumping from hyaluronic acid. That would take weeks of consistent use to actually see. Now let's get into the finish. It's definitely glowy without looking greasy right now, but we'll have to wait for the next check-ins to see if that actually changes. Now let's go to the right side and use a Maybelline Dewy and Smooth. This is the shade 230 Natural Buff. I'm going to be using the same tool and the same technique. The consistency is slightly thinner than the Lifter Plump. It's blending out seamlessly and it's given that beautiful radiance to the skin as well. It applies similarly when compared to the Lifter Plump in my opinion. Like I said, this is also a radiant finish, but I feel the level of glow is slightly lesser compared to the Lifter Plump. Look at my skin and tell me what do you think. Leave that down in the comments. The coverage is medium but buildable as well, so it's the same like the Lifter Plump. You can also build in a second layer if you need to. I have done this in the past and I haven't had any issues. So for the initial comparison, I feel that the Lifter Plump is slightly more radiant than the Maybelline Dewy and Smooth. Coverage wise, they are the same, which is medium buildable, and both of them feel lightweight on the skin. But in comparison to the Maybelline Dewy and Smooth, the Lifter Plump has more skincare ingredients in it. Both look good right now, but we need to test how long they actually last on the skin. Okay, here's what we're looking at immediately after application. This side is the Lifter Foundation and this side is the Dewy and Smooth. So with the Lifter Foundation, I feel it is pretty glowy. It's not going into my pores or looking textured. It doesn't have glitter speckles in it. The coverage is medium buildable. So what that means is the first time you apply, it can go medium, but you can certainly build it on to get a fuller coverage and cover any hyperpigmentation. I wouldn't say it's looking plump or anything of that sort, but that could be after a while. It's not itching, it's not burning. If that's what you think might happen, it's looking stunning on the skin. It is looking like skin. Very lightweight. I think as per these lights, this shade match is slightly lighter because I've tanned and it's summer now. But overall, it's not going into my fine lines, which is miraculous, really. It's not sitting like a layer on the skin. It's sitting fine on the nose. It's not emphasizing my forehead lines either. So I'd say this is a really good one. Now let's quickly talk about the Dewy and Smooth. You can see it's going into my smile lines here. That's what normally happens with that foundation or any foundation. This is again a smooth texture, it's dewy. I feel it's a slightly lighter coverage compared to the Lifter one. It's certainly buildable, but as you can see, this side has covered better than the Dewy and Smooth. Dewy and Smooth is literally my go-to everyday foundation, but I think I'll be leaning more towards the Lifter foundation now. Since my skin is normal to dry, it is sitting very well, it's not clinging to any dry patches. I feel the Lifter foundation would be good for oily skin as well, but you'll have to prep slightly more and set it in place. I'm not finding any oxidization at this moment, but I'll be checking in with you later as well. So right now, as I said, my preference is the Lifter foundation, but after my check-ins, I need to see whether my concealer will be creasing, whether it oxidizes, how it actually sits on the skin after wear, and if it's really a skincare foundation like it claims to be. So I'll be wearing this for 8 hours. I'll be putting on some more makeup because I have to keep filming. I have to do some housework. Today is pretty cold in Australia, so I'll have to just go outside and see how it interacts with whatever the weather is after 8 hours. And I will be checking in with you at 2 hours, then at 4, and then at 8. So I'll see you there. So it has been 2 hours and I'm going to give you my thoughts about how it's looking. The Lifter foundation has got the subtle glow to it. It's not really going into my smile lines all that much. But as you can see, the concealer has creased a bit, which you should expect anyway, but I'm just using my brush and blending that out. Now for the Dewy and Smooth, you can see it has given that radiant look as well. It has gone into my smile lines, which it normally does, so I sort of expected it, but that's okay. There are no oils coming through, which is good, but it has gone into those fine lines near my eyes. And this is how it looks at 2 hours. We are back with a 4-hour check-in and you can see that my smile lines are not really creasing all that much. I'm not really liking how the concealer is sitting on my under eyes. It's looking a bit heavy. But overall the Lifter foundation is looking good and the glow is still there. Like you can see, the concealer has creased and it's looking heavy for me personally. and the Dewy and Smooth Foundation has gone into my smile lines but not my forehead lines. So this is the 4-hour check-in. So now it has been 8 hours and I want to give you my honest thoughts about this foundation and concealer. Let's talk about this foundation first. It has stayed radiant. I have also set it with powder like I normally do. It has not become greasy at all. Neither has it oxidized or turned matte. Now it hasn't broken down around my nose particularly, but it has gone into my fine lines like you can see. And this is what I'd expect any foundation to do. It has also gone into these lines near my eyes, but not into my forehead lines, which is great. It has an emphasized texture. All my other makeup has sat beautifully on it, and it is still comfortable and not disappointing at all. Now, as for the plumping claim, let me be honest with you. You will not see plumping results after just one use. Niacinamide and hyaluronic acid work over time on the skin, and that is only with consistent use, not if you're just going to wear it for 8 hours. But yes, like I said, it does give a radiant and healthy glow to the skin, but actual plumping, I am not too sure about it. So if you're going to buy this and expect your skin to look plump, you are going to be disappointed. But if you want that skincare infused foundation that looks lightweight, feels lightweight, has a beautiful glow to the skin, this one certainly delivers. I would rate this foundation 8 out of 10, simply basing it on how it is looking on my skin, but I'd minus the 2 because of the marketing hype. And as you know, my Dewy foundation always lasts well. This one has lasted well too. It has gone into my fine lines like I would expect. It hasn't moved or transferred. So these two are pretty comparable. It's very comfortable, as I always say, and I would rate this one 8 out of 10 again. Now both feel equally comfortable. Both are worth your money, but if you have the Dewy foundation at the moment, I would request you to finish it off and then buy the Lifter foundation. Both lasted well. I can't really say much about oils because that's not my skin type, so I will not lie to you. And both haven't oxidized at all. Now let's get into this concealer. It has creased into my under eyes like any concealer would. It's looking a bit dryish than my Fit Me concealer. So I'm not sure what is going on there. It's probably because it's more full coverage and I don't really like full coverage concealers on my skin. It is still bright though, it's not looking dull, it hasn't oxidized and it hasn't moved around. Like I mentioned, this concealer contains peptides and it is the same thing as a foundation. Peptides will work over time and not instantly, and the brightness that you will see if you buy it is because of the coverage and the shade, not peptides, because they don't magically work during the day. So basically, who should buy the foundation and concealer? If you are a normal to dry skin type, this will work beautifully on your skin. So I would say a combo skin would be better suited to this foundation than oilier skin types. Now we've got the prices up for both of these foundations, but is a Lifter foundation actually worth your money? Yes, if you're looking for a new foundation on the market, certainly grab this one. It gives you the beautiful glow. And I've just seen that this one has SPF 15, which is slightly lesser than this one, which is SPF 18. Both are 30 ml bottles, and both will give you that natural, radiant looking skin. Now, who should buy this concealer? If you love that full coverage, instant glow, this is the concealer for you. But if you prefer a more buildable coverage, and I think if you're over 35, like I will be in a few days, you might want to skip this one. I personally won't be reaching out much for this because it's looking slightly heavy on my under eyes, but I will use it in some way or the other. I'll figure it out. So finally, I'll just conclude by saying that if you already have the Dewy foundation, finish it off first and then buy this one. But if you're in the market for a glowy, radiant one, you can grab this one. So I hope this honest comparison really helped you decide whether you should buy this foundation and concealer. And if you want me to test any new products, leave them in the comments below. And if you want reviews with no BS, just real everyday testing, make sure you're subscribed to my channel. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.